Hey guys, Dylan here, and I know the last video was a review for a movie, but I recently just watched the Fullmetal Alchemist Live-Action movie, and I want to do a review on that one, and I have a few points here that I wrote down. Okay, on right here. Yeah, that's more than a few. I have like three main things. Is one, what parts they took part, what parts were somewhat more influenced through both anime, both the 2003 version and Brotherhood. And then I have a list of some of the changes that were made in the movie versus the anime. Then I have like an overall how did I think of the movie kind of thing. First thing, I'll go for first for the overall is that I found the movie to be very enjoyable. And because one, I was waiting for this movie for so long, and one of the first things that hit me was like the beginning with the human transmutation that Ed and Al did to try to bring their mother back. The way they did it gave me chills. All like, oh, it was so good. And I liked how they kept many like some of the major plot points that were also in the different anime adaptations. There were yeah a few changes, but it was still they kept like kind of the main thing for that is two brothers trying to find a way to bring back their body, trying to bring back their bodies, and it was yeah. Now the main parts that stood out to me that they took part from both the anime. One part specifically I can think of that they took from the 2003 version or made it more like the 2003 version was the moment with Shao Tucker and Nina. From when I watched it, they did kind of like it was kind of like a mixture, but it was more the 2003 version because when they were there when they were adults, which is how it was in Brotherhood, but of how they reacted to it and how it all played out was more like the 2003 version, which is technically when they're like 12 ish, and even then it still was such a sad moment in the whole thing. But they did very well with creating how Nina looked, or the Nina Alexander Chimera looked. It looked very well made, despite being very sad. And the thing that struck out to me of how it was like the 2003 version was whenever Ed kept punching Tucker over and over and over, and Al had to come by and try and stop him from trying to kill him. And that was kind of like one of the main character developments for Ed, is what I'm a, I feel like. There were two moments that caught my eye that were more like in Brotherhood, that they took from Brotherhood. One of them had to do with this is toward the end of the movie. I should have said spoilers at the beginning, but probably in the title of the video. There were the immortal dummies that were made through Philosopher's Stones from Brotherhood, and they brought those into the movie at the very end. And I thought that was really cool how they incorporated that into it. It's not exactly how it was, but it was still amazing. And yeah, you can tell, it's very obvious that they were CGI, but they looked amazing still. another part that they took from Brotherhood was how Lust died in a way. How it was, because in 2003 one, it was, I forgot who it was that killed her, but it was not who killed her in Brotherhood. The person who killed her in Brotherhood was Mustang, by repeatedly burning her over and over and over. And it had that same rage that he had in the anime. Like, you can see the rage in his face while he's doing it. Now, some of the changes that were pretty obvious. Al is told in the anime that he is told, or he's been convinced that that he has false memories, that he could have false memories, that he's not really like Ed's brother or anything. But the main change for that is who told him. In this movie, it was Tucker who told him. Well, Tucker was like experimenting on him. Another thing is how Ed finds out what the Philosopher's Stone is made of. Ed figures it out himself in both anime. He figures it out himself by studying Dr. Marco's research and like repeatedly studying it and trying to figure out what it is. But he doesn't find out until the end of the movie when he's at Laboratory 5. And Tucker kind of gets him to I think he still figures it out, but Tucker has to lead him has to kind of like get him to figure it out at Laboratory 5 with a giant transmutation circle. Now, this big change was one that really stuck out to me, was who Envy transformed into when Envy killed Maze Hughes. Now, in both anime, it was Lieutenant Ross. Well, actually, it started off as his wife and then Lieutenant Ross. But in the movie, Envy transforms into to Mustang instead. Try to frame him and get him either arrested, killed, or whatever, because they don't want him to figure out anything. And another thing from Macy's is we never see his daughter because she's never born yet in this movie. His wife is pregnant by the time, even when when Mace Hughes gets killed, because the picture that dropped is not of like his wife and daughter and him. It's just him and his wife, and showing that she's pregnant. That's it. But for animated live action, this one is kept true to the main point of the whole story, which is Ed and Al figuring out how to get their bodies back. Something I forgot to write down. Another thing that is good that they kept is one, the door of truth, or gate of truth. I forgot the name of it. And truth, God of the universe, that smoky figure that it takes whatever is sacrificed for what they want. And they did a really well job of creating it, though it didn't have like the mouth like in the anime, but that'd be kind of hard with like something that's like made of like smoke and stuff. But all in all, this movie, it was one of the better ones that I've watched, keeping true to one, the personalities of the characters. Mustang's still like a smug character in the whole thing. Ed's kind of like a kid, basically. Still, but he starts, but he starts get these character developments because of all these things that happen to him, like there's like with Nina and all that. But all in all, it was one of my favorite anime to live action movies that I've seen in a while. And I guess that's the end of the review for now. Well, not for now, just the end of the review. So I guess I'll see you later. Bye.